Ready? Oh. Obviously, just starting my coffee. So we are here, guys, and it is Saturday. Yesterday was the first day of practice. Because everything was so last minute on the M4, Jay and Nick drove up Thursday night. So they were here first thing in the morning. First time on slicks with that car. And you know, we'll get some impressions from Nick and Jay in a little bit. Right now, I'm pretty content because with the half a day of practice I got from it being built so late, we got some pretty good settings in the car. We already broke our fastest lap time that the car's ever done from when it was just on springs. We're still making some tweaks. As you can see, Rob's dialing it in. It is the first run of the day that will count. See if we can get to that sub 50 mark. I grew up in Bakersfield, which is about 30 minutes from Buttonwillow. This track has a lot of meaning to me. Pretty cool that it's the 20th anniversary. You know, I remember coming out here with my dad and watching guys drive, and it's so humbling to be driving with all these different kind of cars out here, having watched them as a kid. So yeah, anyway, we've got Jay Cray, we've got Nick in the BRZ, the StreetHunter Widebody BRZ. I'm driving the Project TD4, and then we've got Gary in the G87 M2. And his goal right now, he's been improving vastly every event, like by far and away, huge milestones. So right now we want to cut 5 seconds off of his time because he's at a 2 flat. The car we know is capable of a 153. So let's see if we can get Gary down from 2 minutes flat to a 155 at least. For us, Project TD4 has had a whole new revamp with aero, suspension, 18-inch wheels. So we're trying to get this daily driver car to sub 1 minute and 50 seconds. If we can do that, I'll be super happy. Jay and Nick, they're gonna be going for a 155. A 155 in a 200 horsepower car. Let's see if it's possible.
What is this? This is the new mic, right? Hello. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Day 1, GTA Finals, Buttonwillow 20th anniversary. We are all set, just finished the driver's meeting, and we are now prepping the cars, ready for session 1 to go green flag. Even though the car looks fast, we don't have power. But super excited. Yesterday went very well. We were able to tweak the suspension because we have brand new reaction coilovers, the 2-way dampers, as well as we installed all brand new SPL, like pretty much the whole catalog and suite. So that's rear, upper arms, control arms, lateral links, all the good stuff. So yesterday was just more of setting a baseline, understanding the car. We're also running the new Toyo Proxys R slicks. So all in all, it's like driving a brand new car, but it's really pointy. We're able to throw it in the direction that we want to. And now it's just a matter of getting more seat time throughout the weekend and just progressively getting faster and faster.
All right, how was your first session?
You talking to me?
Yep.
Oh, first session, the track is cold, so it's a little slippery. On stickers, went out, did 3 warm-up laps, started getting on it, sliding around quite a bit. And then I did a decent time. And the second lap I did that I was aggressive on, I went off on turn 1 really bad, heading for the workstation. So I had to make a quick decision of either go left or go right. Looked to the left, went to the right, drove to the right, cleared the workstation by about 2 feet. And then got back on the track, so that was exciting. But the car's handling really nice, and
All right, guys, so we went out for our first session, and yeah, that was on our old tire. And then we tried something on the front ride height, which didn't work. It's pretty crazy how loose it got from just changing the front ride height a little bit. But right now we've got our new CRSs, and the temperature is just right. Hopefully the track got some temperature into the pavement. This is kind of our best shot that we've got for the weekend, and it's gonna be the second run of the whole competition. So yeah, I'll hop in. We got 2 minutes before we head out. Guys, so quick update. We finished with the first 2 sessions of day 2. You know, we maxed out the new tires that we had, the Nankang CRSs, and we got down to a 151 154.7, which from the personal best that we had on the car a month ago, that was a 154.4. So getting down to a 151.7, although it's not the sub 50 lap that we were trying to go for, still a good improvement. Right now we're hoping, let me turn this around. We're hoping that the tires will hold out for one more session. Also too, we had a 151.3 on the Garmin earlier. You guys are probably wondering why the brakes are apart on my car. Gary's M2, he's driving so fast this year. We thought his brake pads were gonna last. So with him driving it faster, he wore through his brake pads. I'm letting him use the brake pads from the M4. We were gonna skip session 3 anyway because it's always a hot session. At least Gary will be able to try and apply some of the things that we've been talking about, going over his videos, working on his braking points and carrying more speed through the turn. Got Rob over here working pretty hard, switching the brake pads back and forth. What did we just find out, Rob?
We just found out that his right front caliper just gave way, so we're gonna try to bleed the system and hopefully we're able to get that working again for a session.
Yeah, so he's driving it a lot harder than he used to, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this fluid has been on the car. We haven't changed it. You know, I think he did one track day here, and then he did Laguna Seca Grid Life, which was 3 days. And then we did Sonoma together. That was another 2 days. And then he got like another full day of driving before he started noticing the braking issues. So, yeah.
So it's a good thing that he was able to tell that his car wasn't really driving normal on the track on the last session. So we brought it in. We were able to check it once we had time, and we found that problem.
Yeah. So what are you doing right now?
We're gonna try to lead the system as of right now, and hopefully get it back to working as normal as it should.
Yeah. So this is one important thing, guys. When you bleed the system after your brake fluid has boiled, on all BMWs actually, all modern BMWs and Supras, it's very important to bleed the ABS. An old school bleed of just going to the corners and bleeding it by hand with a vacuum pump or whatever it may be, it doesn't cut it once you've boiled the fluid on these newer cars, because the ABS pump needs to be activated to get the fluid out of that pump. So that's what Rob's working on right now.
So we did a recap. We finished our first session on the day 1 of the competition, and so far I feel like we're still dialing in the car. Temperatures were pretty modest, and obviously the fact that me and Jay are co-driving, we're gonna have to split the sessions in half. We still need to dial in the suspension. The car isn't really pointing in the way we want it to. We're tuning the reaction, working on the compression of the car so that the car can be a little bit more pointy, but other than that, the tires are still holding up. I feel like they're being pretty consistent, but the overall grip is okay. So session 2, trying to get the braking zones down, and then also working on certain sectors so that we make sure that the suspension is where we want it to be.
Quick update on Jay, Cray, and Nick. So we found an issue. Both Jay and Nick said the car all of a sudden started understeering like crazy. Luckily, we went to swap the tires from left to right. We found that the strut, the locking collar for the strut on the reaction coilover had come loose just from all the turning. So yeah, luckily we found that out. And the sway bar end link also broke. So luckily, Son from Formula S was kind enough to let us borrow his sway bar end link. So we put that on, and yeah, I mean, the car's back on the trailer now. The tires are pretty much done. So yeah, I mean, they were able to get down to what Jay did, a 159. So yeah, I mean, not the best run for this car, but you know, it's a lot of fun. This car is crazy fun to drive. So again, hopefully, you know, we'll save the tires for the last and 4th session of today, and maybe get down to a 50 flat. I would be more confident in saying that we'd be going for a sub 50 still if we had a new set of tires. Most of the day on practice and Saturday yesterday was spent really dialing in the rebound and compression settings of the new Nitrons that are now on the car. Yeah, yesterday I kind of had to get out of my head of just, you know, thinking about, okay, what's the car doing here? What's the compression need on here? Is it rebound that we need? Balancing the front and the rear. So I said to myself yesterday, you know what? You know, let's just drive the car now. It's at a decent setup, and the balance was starting to feel a lot better from front to rear. Today was just about driving the car, no more suspension changes. But now we're fighting the tire life. We'll see what happens in the 4th session. Maybe make a tweak on the rear. The car is very bouncy because the car still weighs 3,800 pounds. You know, we haven't stripped anything out of the interior. So yeah, we've still got literally everything, the AC, radio. It's a normal street car, just with some aero on it. It would have been cool to hit that sub 50 mark with the car in its current status, but I think we need new tires and the perfect conditions to make that happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the 4th session. All right, Gary, what's your goal?
Feed you some delicious ribeye steak.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
It's not ribeye.
Come on, Hollywood Gary, you gotta practice. You gotta practice.
Skirt steak.
Sorry if I make you guys hungry, but this is delicious. Look at this.
Delicious skirt steak.
Gary hired a professional chef to come out here and cook this.
Yeah, my frying pan.
I'm not gonna say no to that. Let's have another one, guys. Yes. Look at that. Gordon Ramsay would be proud.
Wright Creek Farms, check it out. I don't know.
Only part of it.
I'm just a loyal customer.
All right, so what are you working on in the car?
Smooth out my hands a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit more of the track on some of the corners, cutting it in a little bit too close.
You've been turning in late on some of them, right?
Oh yeah, I'm driving it like my Formula car.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem, is to convert from Formula car driving to GT driving.
Yeah.
So I'm having little troubles there.
But it's cool that you're able to, you know, because Buttonwillow you're very familiar with, right?
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, and we went to Sonoma about a month ago, and that I feel like was your real breakthrough. You know, really tossing the car around. So now you've got a Formula race in a week.
Next weekend here.
Next weekend here. So hopefully this is good practice for you in the big, heavy 3,800 pound car with a high center of gravity.
Yeah, we have some of the fastest people in the country showing up because it's our last event.
Yeah.
And right now I'm second in the championship.
Nice.
And I got to keep that position.
Sweet.
I don't think I'll beat the guy who's always faster by a second.
Gary's very modest, guys, so we'll see. So we've got some bleeding to do, and then Gary's finally going to be able to make it out on track today. So stay tuned. All right, Nick. So how did your runs go in the BRZ?
I think I was consistent for the most part, even though yesterday, towards the end of the day, heat was definitely another thing. It feels like a go-kart with all of the aero. Driving the BRZ, it's like you're flat out literally 80% on the track. And we were on a brand new tire, so that was like an unknown variable. Just found out it's more like an endurance tire. So like I said, it was very consistent, and I really don't have any complaints.
All right, guys, so we figured out the issue on the M2. It was literally the ABS bleed procedure. It's weird because once it throws a fault on the M2, you have to like almost trick it into activating the ABS. Otherwise, it cuts off the function to the caliper that has an issue. So we found that out right now, so good learning thing on the fly here in the pit. That's a very severe, probably won't run into it on the street. But if any of you guys are tracking and you have this kind of an issue, then now we're putting my pads back onto my car, onto the M4. Hopefully we can do the 4th session and you know, maybe do even better than 151.7, which I think it's in there. But let's play a little joke on Rob and see. So Rob, did you when you swapped the pads, did you put them back on the same exact surface of the rotor?
Yeah, I did.
There's no way, dude.
Yeah, I like keeping things exactly where they came off of, just to be sure that they're gonna wear the same way and not show a different pattern on wear.
I was totally joking.
You're lying.
So Rob went and switched the pads off of my car onto that car, tested it, didn't work. We did the bleed procedure, tried to figure out all that stuff within 3 hours. 3 hours of hard work here in the sun. And I jokingly asked him, is that pad matching to this rotor? And he surprisingly tells me, yes, it is. So, dude, amazing. That's dope.
Yeah, I like to keep my work on the same side wherever I take them off and replace them with the exact same one, or if we're using them again and all that, so that
for sure
we know we can keep a history of our stuff.
At the shop, obviously, like, you know, that's like a standard, but here in the pits, on the fly, on the rush, out in the hot sun. Dude, thank you.
No worries, man.
Awesome. So little things like that, all the crew and everybody. I'll take this second real quick just to thank everybody, Gary, Jay, Nick, Gio, James and Chuck, and Gabe and everybody at the shop pulled it back in last minute to get all the cars ready. So little things like Rob, you know, working his ass off right now just to get this, both of us out on for the last run. It's just more dedication to, you know, try and get that fastest lap. So let's see if we can get this done. Let's go. Gave it all we got. All right, guys, so that is it. We gave it one last shot in the fourth session of the day. It was nice and cool, but the tires were just done. So, you know, after a day and a half of going full out on those tires, all the heat cycles, they just had no more life in them. But overall, we had a great time. Again, we finished with a 151.7 officially, another big improvement from the last 154.4. Honestly, with, you know, the perfect conditions, a brand new set of tires, it could get close to a 50 or maybe even a sub 150, but we'll have to wait till the next event to find out. So thank you guys again for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and it helps us out a lot, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.